My name's Cheri Arrowood. I'm from Jackson Independent School, and this year I'm currently teaching kindergarten, which I hadn't been in for 30 years. So it's a wonderful experience, but when I came back, it was just a lot different from what I had taught 30 years ago. And so we are working on, of course, you all kindergarten teachers know it's learning your letters, learning your sounds, putting them together to make your words, decoding, and then creating your sentences. So we started off really good, but we are having trouble with when we decode the word, that when we put it into a sentence, they know the flashcard, but when they put it in a sentence, it's like they don't know any words. They look at me, and I say, it's not on my face, it's on the book. Look at the book. So we found this program called Letters Alive, and our librarian actually went to a training this summer, and she came back and she was very excited about it. And basically all it does is it takes and teaches the letters, and then it will teach, and if you look at your handout, it's all in the inside here. But what it teaches is letters, and it does letter sounds, and then it does word building, and then it does sentence building. So our problem was students have difficulty combining sounds to decode words and transferring those isolated words into the written text. So in this program, and if you have never seen it, look it up. It is amazing. It's hard to describe, and I haven't been to a training. All I am telling you is what I've seen on the internet. So we haven't gotten it yet. I'm very excited. But with the letters, it has these letter cards, and there is a docking cam, and you put the card under the docking cam, and it comes up on your screen. And it basically, there are buttons there, and you can push, it'll do the sound. It will do the name of the letter, and then when you have letters together, it actually sound out the word. But it makes whatever is on that card come to life. So I think the example on the internet was the letter A, alligator, and every letter is an animal. So I'm a science person. So I loved it when I said, oh, we're going to get animals to put in here. So it gives them a name that's A. I don't remember, maybe it was like Adam Alligator. I don't remember exactly his name. But when you put the card under there, the alligator on the screen comes alive and starts moving. And it's really cool. And you can take the card, and when you turn it and tilt it just a little bit, the alligator turns, and you can actually see a 3D image of that alligator. So you can see its stomach. You can turn it around and see the back, the tail. You can talk to the animal, and I'm assuming it's the way you move the card that makes it act. But she had done the word horse, and she said, I'm going to pet the horse, and he's going to neigh. And so she did something with her card, and that horse started neighing and shaking its head. It was so cool. And then when you build sentences, and if you'll look in yours is pretty, yours is color. There's one that says, the horse can eat. And the horse actually does that. Hay, they put hay out there, and it comes and eats the horse. The horse eats the hay. And then you can change the word eat. The example was the horse is small. So we used the sight word small, and the horse shrank. It was like this big. And then she changed the word small to big, and the horse got really big. So it's just a really, really cool program. You can do it whole group. And you can do a small group or independent practice. I liked the small group example. It was just a small reading group, and they had the kangaroo. And he said, we're going to bring the kangaroo to our classroom. He's going to come in our classroom. So basically, it was on an iPad, and it used the camera so that the kangaroo, when I would put the camera on a student, the kangaroo was right next to the student. And so when I'd move it around, the kangaroo would jump all over the room. So it's just something that's going to keep those students focused. I have a hard time in reading groups because other things are going on with centers and computers. I have a hard time keeping them focused on that book. They won't have a hard time staying focused when there's an animal right there with them. So I really like the small group example that you'll see on internet. Some of the outcomes, of course, you're going to have increased letter recognition. My students don't really have a problem with that, but when I put up like a letter T, they'll go T, and I'll say, what's the sound? And they'll look at me. And we've been working on T for weeks. That was one that we did early on. But then I'll say, what does T say? And they'll go T. But when you show them the letter and say, what sound does it make? They're not giving it to me. So there's something that's not connecting up there, and I think this will bring it all together because they're going to love those animals.